I dumped my boyfriend for leaving my closet door open. Sorry if the title sounds clickbaity. My ex posted on Am I the Asshole with the title, Am I the Asshole for not wanting to close my girlfriend's closet? And I just wanted a place to respond. My now ex-boyfriend, 23 male, and I, 24 male, were together for 2 years. It would have been 3 years next month. We met through a mutual friend, my roommate at the time, because of our similar interests. For context, I lived in my apartment for about 4 years. The mutual friend stayed in the beginning, but they moved 3 years ago. Since then, I've been living on my own. I was originally going to have my boyfriend move in with me once my lease ended, but of course, change of plans. So my ex posted on Am I the Asshole for leaving my closet door open, yet he missed very important details. One question that kept appearing was why didn't I close the door, even though I never leave it open, ever. Ever since I was little, I've trained my brain to always make sure that the closet door was closed. I'll add a trigger warning here just in case. When I was 6, I shared a room with my older sister. One night, she went over to a friend's house for a sleepover. My parents and I got home a bit late. I remember it being hot since we had the air conditioner on, but I went to bed and I was tossing and turning because it was really hot. I kept hearing a noise from somewhere, but I wasn't sure from where, and I just assumed it was the air conditioner. I laid on my back just staring at the roof, and I heard my closet door being opened. My bed faced towards the closet, so when I moved my head down, I could see this old man coming out of it. I screamed and my parents came running in. My dad grabbed me and I saw my mom hitting that man with one of her favorite pans. We called the police and later found out that he was a homeless man. He must have snuck in while we were away and hid in my closet when he heard my parents' car pull in. Since then, I've suffered from PTSD and fear of someone coming in my closet again. I slept with my parents for a few years after that. We moved to another state once I hit high school. Parents got me a therapist when the incident occurred, and to this day, I'm still going to therapy. I felt like it wasn't working though, because I was just venting and a therapist would go, and how does that make you feel? Instead of suggesting something to help me. That was until my current therapist. She suggested that I could use something like a nightlight and place it by the closet. Then I asked if I could use something else something that stuck to the walls. At first, it was these big glow-in-the-dark dinosaur stickers. I felt kind of silly about it at first when I did put them up, but when I had my sleep paralysis, I was still scared, but was now able to tell what was sleep and what wasn't, and it gave me a sense of comfort. I love that. I fucking love that. I love that you were able to find something to help you. That makes me so fucking happy. I change the themes occasionally to dinos, planets, and now stars. For the past 7 years, it's worked for me. That makes me so girl, I'm so happy for you. I am so happy. I know I just keep repeating it, but I am very, very happy for you. I moved out of my parents' home at 20 to live in an apartment with my friend who I met in college. I only went for 2 years. I explained to her about my situation because we shared a room. There was only one closet. She understood me completely. She only ever left it open once when she came home from a night shift. She was remorseful and never did it again when she saw how bad I suffered from it. That's an appropriate fucking response. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And then you just don't do it anymore. You don't get mad at them for bringing it up first thing in the morning. That's a fucking appropriate response when you fuck around and do some shit someone asked you not to do. Now to my ex. We pretty much clicked when we met. We had similar hobbies, liked exploring new foods. It was fun. I also told him about my trauma and that I didn't mind the door being open during the day, but at night it needs to be closed, no matter what. He could still put or take something out of it, but to close it back up. He complied throughout the entirety of our relationship. It wasn't until a few months ago where he started acting very controlling. He would say small comments about certain foods that I would eat, like how it's affecting my liver or something, and recommend other things. I brushed it off thinking he was just looking out for my health. It started getting to a point where he suggested I quit my job at one point when he's finished college and moved in. He forgot to mention all of this. His hand somehow forgot to type all of this shit the fuck out. 2, sir, you are fresh out of the classroom. You don't have a job and you're going to school, but you want me to quit my job. This is my house. So if I can't pay my rent, That's it. Sir, get the fuck out of here. Girl, I'm so glad you left him because that boy was just as dumb as a day is long. I told him that it'd be beneficial for both of us to be working. He never asked again. However, he did start asking things like if I could cook for him, even though I said I was tired from work. Would I stop working if he made enough money for the both of us? If I still wanted kids? I think he wanted to ask me to become a stay-at-home wife and mother, but I could be overanalyzing. First of all, no, I don't think you're overanalyzing because I think that was his goal. He was trying to slowly mold you into that. But first of all, how the fuck you gonna have this idea of the type of wife you want me to be and you still live with your fucking parents? Like, sir, you live with your mom and dad and you have the nerve and audacity to want to talk to me about some shit in the fucking future. First of all, let's get you out of your childhood bedroom and then we can focus on things that's going to happen on later because you trying to get me to quit my job and you're not even done turning in homework, sir. You got your shit mixed up. You need to be focusing on other things instead of trying to change me. Hell no. On the night before we broke up, when he decided to test me, I had the worst hallucination since I was a teenager. I wake up and I see the door open and I start to imagine the man I saw all those years ago. When I woke the next day, it was around 4 a.m. I was able to move and I started to cry immediately to a point where I couldn't shed any more tears. And apart from the migraine from crying too hard, I felt a numbness. So when he woke up a few hours later, I waited for him in the kitchen, just honestly feeling tired. I didn't yell, and I just spoke in a monotone voice. I told him how I had one rule, and that was to close the door. He got defensive, saying he felt like I was lying about my trauma just to see if he would care for me. I told him to leave while I thought things over. I never ignored him, and he never texted me the whole week. But now I know for sure that there's no saving this relationship. You can get your stuff from your brothers. I've already told him what you did, so good luck. I'll be moving in with my sister out of town. I'm not renewing my lease. I just want to be with people who actually support me. Y'all, when I tell you that the boyfriend is trash as fuck because he's seen the post and he commented on it. And his comment says, so you had time to make a Reddit about me, but can't even answer the phone. Didn't girlfriend just say that he never reached out to her in the last week? Bitch, she's literally doing what the fuck you did. You didn't text her for a whole week. And instead of being a man, you ran to Reddit. So she responded on Reddit. You brought in random motherfuckers, so she brought in random motherfuckers. Now all of us is part of this. Now we all part of this. She's doing exactly what the fuck you're doing. How come you're seeing everyone else is wrong except for yours? Bro, I need you to grow up. I'm about to tell my husband he's selfish and needs to grow the fuck up. So my husband hosts a party every year for his birthday. His mates come over and play board games, video games, and spend the weekend being very loud, messy, and generally being pains in the ass. For years, these boys, I would not call them men, have treated my husband's home as a frat house, leaving rubbish everywhere, not cleaning up after themselves, not closing doors, and if they do, not quietly. These boys are highly qualified. All of them have one or more degrees, and yet have no common sense and no respect for others. Last year, some of them left food out that was toxic for dogs, and my dogs got into it. It wasn't even brought into the house. It was just left outside where the dogs were. 6 a.m. phone calls to my vet was not what I needed to be doing on my weekend off. So this year, I made the decision that the dogs were off of the property and staying at a kennel. My husband has announced that even though next year we will have an 8-month-old, he's still going to have the event, and myself and the child can basically leave for that weekend. Oh, hell no. I will not pack up my 8-month-old and take them somewhere else for you and your disrespectful punk-ass friends to destroy my house and probably 9 times out of 10 leave it for me to clean up. Absolutely the fuck not. I would have put my foot down so long ago. The first time when my goddamn dog got sick because you guys were being fucking lazy, that's when your husband's birthday party became a bachelor fucking brunch. Like, hell no. Y'all want to do some stupid shit? Take your asses over to goddamn Denny's, have some pancakes and some orange juice and call it a fucking day. Because now you're being No, I'm not leaving my motherfucking house. I might add that for my birthdays, he does nothing. He forgets it and does nothing for it. At the end of this weekend, I'm going to be calling him selfish and telling him to grow the fuck up. Okay, so my issue is not even the fact that they're loud and they're messy and they're pains in the ass and they're slamming doors, because they're men. They're letting loose, and that's what the fuck men do when they let loose. My problem is the fact that you nasty motherfuckers at y'all grown ass ages don't clean up after yourselves. Like, no, your husband is a punk. He needs to stop being such a pushover to his friends and tell them to clean the fuck up. Because the one reason this shit is continuously happening at y'all house is because his friends ain't gonna let that shit go down at their house because they don't want to deal with the mess. They're not gonna clean up. They know your husband's not gonna stop it. If anything, he's gonna fucking encourage it because he's a pussy. Oh, hell no. I could not be married to this man. I would leave and tell him that I'm not fucking coming back until you prove to me that my house is clean. FaceTime me Sunday evening. Show me that my house is clean. I don't want to see a speck, a spoon, nothing. You know what? Take the fucking dogs to the groomers before I get home. I want my house to, you know how you walk in the cartoons and the house go bing with the sparkle? I need to see fucking sparkles every goddamn where before I come back. Because, sir, hell no. Absolutely the fuck not. And in the case where he's not even a fucking pussy and this is just his disrespectful ass being this way, why are we still there? I would leave and not come back. Why are we married to an overgrown man-child? What has this man done to get into your good graces? Why does he deserve your time? What's going on? No. No, babe, you deserve so much fucking better than a man that's going to make sure that his birthday party is so good for his fucking friends and then turn around and forget his wife's. I don't understand. Babe, we have to have more respect and more, self-esteem. Like, we deserve better. Hell no. Girl, let me know. I need you here pronto Monday morning. I need to know what happened. Am I the asshole for not staying with my wife during her C-section even after she asked? I don't like the operating room, and at some point in my life, the hospital. When my ex-wife had her C-section, she had a complication and hovered between life and death for a long time. It was a horrible experience to feel so helpless. Currently, I deal with this in therapy. Several things have improved, but going into an operating room is a big no-no for me. When my ex had her second child, I was very nervous. She asked me to wait outside of the operating room. When my current wife and I decided to have children, I made it very clear that I didn't care what her choice of delivery was, but if it was C-section, I would not enter, but that I would stay by her side at all times except for the operation. She agreed, and eventually she became pregnant. She decided in the middle of the pregnancy that it would be a C-section, and I said that was fine, but reminded her of my limitation. She understood and invited her mother to take my place. On the day of the surgery, before she had the C-section, she asked me to come in with her because she wanted a moment of our own. I apologized and said that this was my limit and I couldn't do it. She said, fine, I'll go with my mother then, and had a crying face. I tried to talk to her, but to no avail, and my mother-in-law kept looking at me disgusted. Anyway, I don't think it would have been hell because I was very nervous and I definitely wouldn't have helped at all inside the operating room. Everything went well and our daughter was born beautiful and healthy. I was already at the exit of the operating room waiting for them and I didn't leave their side. Later when we were alone, my wife said that I abandoned her at a vulnerable time and left her alone when she needed me the most. I tried talking to her, but she said that now we need to focus on our daughter, but that she was disappointed in me as a partner. Apparently, my mother-in-law told family members what I did and I'm being criticized. My wife and I have only talked about the baby, and this has been going on for a week now. Am I the asshole? Extra information. In the case of my ex, it was a C-section and that was mandatory. The first one, no. The second one, yes. My wife, elective. Yes, in my country, a C-section can be a choice, as long as the pregnant woman is aware of the risk. Absolutely not. No, you're not the asshole because you explained to your wife this before she even got pregnant. Before she even got pregnant, you told her what your limitations were. I'm pretty sure she knows why you have these limitations because you're still going to therapy for it. So, no, absolutely not. The fact that she chose halfway through the pregnancy to have a C-section is 100% okay. That's her prerogative. But then she chose to understand that you weren't going to be there for that part. She chose that. She thought that if she changed her mind halfway through, it would force you to do the one thing you told her you weren't going to be able to do. And the fact that she wasn't able to trick you or manipulate you into doing what she wanted you to do, she's now upset. And your mother-in-law is just as fucking disgusting. We know where the fuck she got it from. You're not the asshole at all. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Like, why the fuck are we marrying people who could honestly care less about our boundaries? Like, we have to do better. Am I the asshole for telling my family that if I can't bring my newborn to my father's birthday, then they won't see my family again? I, 24 female, and my husband, 32, recently just welcomed our daughter into the world 4 months ago. My daughter was supposed to have a cousin that was a month older than her, but my brother, 30, and his wife, 31, unfortunately had a stillborn at 7 months. This was very hard for my brother and his wife because she had many miscarriages, and everyone thought this would be their rainbow baby. After the loss, they both grieved so much to the point my brother lost his job, and they ended up moving in with our parents. It was now expected of me to never talk about my pregnancy when I visited, and I was also expected to wear baggy clothes to hide my belly, which didn't do much because my brother and his wife were very cold to me whenever I visited. No, you're not the asshole. Absolutely the fuck not. Like, I understand that this is a very, very, very difficult time, and you guys are going through a heartbreak that people should never, ever have to deal with. But that does not mean I have to stop enjoying my pregnancy. The world is going to continue to spin. Time is going to continue to go on. If it is affecting you to the point that you hate every pregnant woman that you see, you need to go seek fucking help. How has it become everyone else's problem that you guys are suffering because of your loss? No, that is not how it works. This became worse when I gave birth, and my husband decided to post a typical photo of the baby's hand wrapped around the father's finger. It was adorable, and honestly, we were just stuck in the moment of finally having our daughter with us. My parents didn't come see my daughter at all because they were busy consoling my brother's wife after they saw my husband's post. Are you fucking kidding me? Get rid of him. Get rid of him. It did hurt, but I was lucky to have my husband and his whole family by my side. That is the only family you need to consider. That's it. That being said, my family hasn't seen my daughter, not once since she was born. Whenever they host dinners, it's expected that I leave my baby at home, and I'm banned from talking about her or the challenges that I face every day. I've been fed up with this arrangement since it started. Your daughter is 4 months old. 4 months. That means they've had damn near half a year to get used to the fact that this baby is here. She's fucking here. How long do they plan on pretending that the baby don't exist? She gonna be fucking 15 years old and they still gonna be banning you from family dinners? Girl, they've already made the decision for you. They have already made the decision that they don't want your baby in the family because it upsets some other sensitive motherfuckers. Go ahead and put your block list together, change that phone number, and just raise your baby and enjoy being a mom. Like, fuck them. My father's birthday is coming up, and everyone was talking about it in our family group chat. I decided to ask if I could bring my daughter. I wouldn't have asked shit. I would have just walked in the house with the baby on my motherfucking hip and walked like everything was normal, holding her like she was a motherfucking purse. Like, what y'all gonna do? What you gonna do? Tell me to get out? Okay, that's fine. Just know this is the last time you'll ever see my face. I wouldn't have told nobody shit. I'm not asking for permission to bring my child to her grandfather's birthday party. Maybe I'm just disrespectful like that, but definitely wouldn't have been asking nobody. I asked if I could bring my daughter because my husband wouldn't be able to watch her on that day because of work. I was, of course, hit with how they weren't ready, and I was selfish to bring it up, especially since they are still grieving. I calmly told them that it was hard that I can't talk to my own family about something so life-changing, and I was just expected to hide it, which resulted in me saying that they were the selfish ones. I ended up saying that I was done, and if my daughter wasn't allowed, then they would no longer be hearing from me because I was tired of accommodating them and getting nothing but loneliness in return. Now I've been getting messages from my parents that I was stressing my brother and his wife out, and I should be more mature, but they didn't seem to care when I was struggling. So am I the asshole? Y'all get one chance to guess who you think the favorite child is. Anybody? Girl, absolutely not. Like, you lasted about 5 months longer than I would have, because the moment they told me that I needed to cover my 6-month pregnant belly, I immediately would have cut contact because it's not my fault that you guys are going through a really tough time. And I am so sorry that you guys are going through this type of heartbreak. But that does not change the fact that I'm experiencing something for the first time and I have the right, I am entitled to enjoy it. You don't get to take that away from me. Like, what the fuck are they planning to do? Get mad at every pregnant bitch they see? It's the summertime. Come fucking September, all these hoes out here gonna be pregnant. What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? Be mad at every pregnant bitch you see? Like, no. No, your family needs fucking help. Your brother and his wife need therapy. They need help. They do. And your family, cuddling them and making accommodations for them that are not healthy, they're not fucking helping. So you're better off without them. You really are. I would suggest that they get your brother and his wife some help and then change my number and not look back.